So your problem is because you don't have yeses or nos on things. There's some anxiety around the schedule and everything coming in at once or nothing coming in.
Yeah, living in purgatory.
Are you worried about them saying yes and then not being able to get in? Or are you worried about you being slammed or running out of money? Hey everyone, Daniel Grimmett here. You're listening to Producer Management, the podcast that lets you in on real conversations between professional music producers and their teams. The deals, the strategies, and the unfiltered advice. This show is brought to you by my company, Dark Label Music. When producers want clarity, strategy, and growth, they call us. We're hired as a strategic partner, part management, part creative and business development, designed for the realities of being a music producer right now. So whether you're a small studio or a Grammy-winning veteran, reach out to us at darklabelmusic.com to see if we can help. Hey everybody, I've been on summer holiday, so it's been a few weeks since you've heard from me, but I've got a banger episode for you today. The majority of successful freelance music producers that I work with eventually hit a ceiling. They've figured out how to consistently book clients, charge solid rates, and they're making good money, like $80,000 to $120,000 per year. But then they reach this crossroads where they want to diversify their income and scale just beyond trading time for money. The problem is, before you can successfully diversify, you need rock-solid systems in your core freelance business. Because if your foundation isn't structured properly, any attempt to scale will crush you under the weight of operational chaos. This is exactly where today's producer finds himself. He's a Grammy-nominated mixer and producer who's built a solid freelance business, but he's dealing with what I call pipeline anxiety, that constant stress of not knowing if all of your pending projects will convert all at once, leaving you overwhelmed, or if none of them will, leaving you scrambling to go find new work. So I want to show you how we work through some of this in real time. I'm going to play you a clip from a call I had with this producer where you'll hear him trying to sort through this exact challenge, and then you'll hear the specific strategies I give him to create structure that can handle growth without everything breaking down. And before I do, a quick side note, in this clip, you will keep hearing him say columns. What he's referring to is an exercise where you make 3 columns: stuff you love doing, stuff you hate doing, and stuff you feel neutral about doing. This is how we determine what to take off your plate and in what order. I can do an entire episode on this in the future, but I just wanted to mention it up front so that you have some context and you're not wondering what the hell is he even talking about when he's saying columns. This clip also ends with us using AI to gain clarity on some of our ideas. I assume that most of you listening to this are doing that by now, but if you're not, I recommend trying it. Here's the clip.
One thing that I think I added into my offer, and I can send over my offer template right now if you want to see it as well too. I put it into Google. I think stole yours of what you had, like the offer validity to where like a 30-day thing, which basically says like, hey, if you come back in 2 months, like we're going to have to talk about, or the rates could be, or I could be busy, like, so don't just like kind of getting a little bit of urgency with it, So that was like a question. The other thing is pending deposits. Of course, I haven't started working on some stuff, but I have a couple, verbal yeses, and it's like, cool, and trying to get like, and I let them know on the call too, like, just to let you know, this project isn't official until the deposit has been paid. So once we can lock that in, I can lock you into the whole schedule and everything.
I think you're doing it right. I mean, what do you feel? What is if you could boil this down to my problem is X, or the problem I'm trying to solve is X in one sentence, what is it?
My problem is I am kind of sitting around twiddling my thumbs, and I'm looking at it right now, 3 deposit pending projects, 4 proposals sent, to where, let's say if half of them come in or more than half of them, I'm going to be swamped at that point, to where it's like, I think it'll be better if I keep doing the outreach in a couple of months, to where I'll have so many things on my plate that I won't have to worry about, and like maybe even pushing people back.
So your problem is because you don't have yeses or nos on things. There's some anxiety around the schedule and everything coming in at once or nothing coming in.
Yeah, the living in purgatory.
Well, yeah, for sure. Is it more of a worry for you or for them? Are you worried about them saying yes and then not being able to get in? Or are you worried about you being slammed or running out of money?
I'm not worried. I mean, there is like the subconscious worried about money, but like I shouldn't be worried because it's like I already have enough projects that I know are going to come
Okay.
through the next month.
Then it's either
It's
you're worried
maybe
about being slammed or you're worried about them being ready and then not being able to start immediately. So one of those.
probably the second, in the sense that like for instance, the one that the new client that I got on, they actually appreciated it because I also sent them out a project timeline because they want to have the song completed by April 11th. Right. I'm
Okay.
like, cool. So here's the thing. And I gave them like a timeline. This is when we're doing this, this, and this.
Yep.
And right now it's coming up. It's only been 5 days, but they haven't sent the deposit. So it's like, if it goes 2 weeks, it's like, well, I'm not going to start working on it. Now this deadline has to go back because you guys didn't start, type of a thing, you know?
Right. Yep. Under the validity section, you could just put like, hey, my products are first come, first serve,
Okay.
Or my bookings are first come, first serve. So then that way, if they come back and like, yeah, cool, we're ready to go. It's like, awesome. Well, let's look at a date. This is my next availability. That's okay. Think about if you want to go get some therapist, you ain't getting in their fucking office tomorrow. You'd be lucky
Yeah.
if you get in there 3 months.
Yeah.
Because they don't work on your schedule. You work on their schedule, technically, right? Or a
Yeah.
doctor or anything like that. So you could look at it the same way, unless you want to have a production team.
I do want to have a production team, and it's actually been beneficial of, that's where to go to the three columns. One of the things that I'm very much enjoying is biz development
Mm-hmm.
of just like, I have a couple of different guys that I am working with that are able to do some production work and stuff for me, which has been very helpful in alleviating. The assistant thing has really worked out great, especially on a lot of the quote second things that I hate. I've already been able to outsource if I need to,
Okay,
uh,
great.
which is good.
That's what I was going to have you do. I was going to have you just color code the stuff that you've already either have a system for or have outsourced.
The next person that I would look to hire would be some sort of admin person, like an assistant, not necessarily a manager, but someone to deal with like emails and things like that.
VA probably. Yeah, let's do a VA.
A VA? I'm sorry?
Virtual assistant.
Virtual assistant. Okay. Uh, yeah, virtual assistant. And then, as weird as it is to say, someone that could maybe also be on the calls with me as well too, especially if I'm going to be double teamed, you know,
Right.
to where I have someone on like to where it's like they have a manager and a person, then it's like me and someone else too, that could also be taking notes as well because
you'll need that. Zoom AI note taker is the best thing in the world.
okay.
Yeah, get a paid Zoom account and get the AI note companion.
Okay.
It's awesome. Having someone else with you on the call, unless they're in person, that's a pain in the ass for scheduling. Because then you gotta even when like me and Aaron need to be on a Zoom together with someone else, it's like such a pain because it's like, well, now 3 people have to get it right,
Yeah.
Hey, I just wanted to butt in here real quick because at the time of this call, I was all about Zoom's AI companion. It had just came out. However, since then, we started using a different tool for taking notes and analyzing client meetings and sales calls. It's called Fathom.video, and it's completely free. This isn't a sponsor or anything. I just wanted to update you on what I'm recommending now. Back to the clip. If you want a production team, there's 2 ways to look at it. There is, we take all the clients in, and then the production team is more like an assembly line, and every client goes through the same assembly line. That's one way to do it. That's more how my production company did it. The next one is client tier, where the clients themselves are you probably remember this. They're categorized into different buckets, and then you have different people working on different tiers where you may not even touch the tier C as much. Maybe the tier B or like half and half, and then tier A is kind of only you, and that's
So actually this brings up a question I had for you. I have a whole questions for Dan. Tier B or tier C, right? This is the question I have. Have you ever directly, I know this is different for your business with the consulting, but let's say this one artist comes back and she's like, well, I just can't afford $3,000. I can afford 1,000. Have you ever then offered those people and explained to them like, oh, well, we're going to be happy to do it, but it would be a little bit different. You'd be working with one of my proteges and I would oversee everything, but he would be, do you ever offer like a tier B client if there's a price objection that they can't
Yeah,
afford.
for
Like,
sure. That's one of the
okay,
ways to do it. Be like, hey, cool, no sweat. What I want to come up with here is a solution to still get what I feel like you need that will keep you moving forward, but make it work a little bit. So why don't I executive produce this? I got one of my sidekicks here. That's, you wouldn't call them an apprentice or an assistant or anything, because then you're putting them on a lower pedestal, and it seems like they're getting like less.
okay,
Which, like, technically they are getting less, but you want it to be less of the offer, not the talent on it, right?
yeah,
So,
okay,
and then you're still connected to it because you're executive producing, which you are, you're overseeing it. So you say, well, I got another option we could look at that we could explore as a way that we could start our working relationship together, and still get you great songs to be released and, work towards that goal. Why don't I executive produce this? And then one of my production partners can kind of take the lead on it. And then that would be more in the 1,200 range. Would that be better? And they may have some questions about it. And then you just need a good analogy. Like, I might go to ChatGPT here and say, I'm a music producer. So it says,
okay,
imagine you're hiring a top chef for a fancy dinner. You could pay $3,000 to have the chef cook the meal themselves, or you could opt for a more affordable option where the chef still designs the menu, oversees the preparation, make sure everything turns out perfect, which is most restaurants, right?
that's most restaurants. Yeah, you never have.
And you're a chef, so that's actually
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
a great one.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that
uh,
is okay.
but a skilled sous chef does most of the cooking. You're still getting the expert. That could be a fun one to use. I was thinking in my head, but this one's probably less relatable. Like, a lot of marketing companies and, like, law firms do this. Like, if you call
Yeah,
Morgan and Morgan, you're not working with Morgan. You're working with one of the 20,000 lawyers that are on their team, but you still
yeah.
get it's still the brand of Morgan and Morgan. So I was going to maybe use something like that, but this is probably better because it's like, well, hey, I mean, what's your favorite restaurant? Oh, I like whatever. It's like, okay, well,
Gordon
like,
Ramsay's, whatever. Yeah, Gordon. You
right.
know.
It's like, well,
Yeah, yeah,
Gordon's not there cooking it, but you still love the food, right? Yeah, I love it. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah. So I
That's
don't know, something like that. If you go to producermanagement.com, you'll find links to jump on our newsletter, which I highly recommend because it's the perfect companion to the show. And if you enjoy what we're doing here, please leave us a 5-star review or share it with a friend. Thanks for listening. That's the episode.